Okay, I am so excited for this film that you're producing. I really love the script. But I want to know a little bit more about the characters that you've proposed.
Okay, well, the name of the movie is Predator, and it's got this team of commandos, and they're like really badass. So,
yeah, those main characters, I really want to know more about them.
All right, so Dutch is like the head guy, and he's a total badass.
Okay, nice.
We're gonna get Arnold Schwarzenegger to play him.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a big hit.
Yeah, and he's really strong and muscular. And then we've got Dylan, who's like a pencil pusher who's not used to being out in the field, so he's going to screw up a lot. Then we got Billy, who's like a Native American tracker.
Oh, wow. So he's kind of navigating through this world.
Yeah, he knows how to like find people and stuff.
Okay.
And then we've got Mac, and he's just the token black guy, I guess.
Got to have one of those.
Yeah, it's 1987.
Yeah.
Then we've got Blaine, and he wears a safari hat, and he has a ridiculously large gun. I mean, like...
What
crazy.
If he has
it has like 6 barrels.
What if he has like a really big cleft chin?
Oh, yeah. We totally got to call Jesse Ventura about this.
Okay.
And then Poncho, he's like the tough, dutiful guy. You know, like he's a straight shooter.
Okay.
But we've got this one guy named Hawkins, and I haven't really figured out what his deal is yet.
Well, what if he's like super smart or something?
Yeah, we could throw some like giant glasses on him.
Okay. Yeah.
But I still think he needs more, you know? Like, what if he told jokes or something?
Like what kind of jokes? Like knock-knock jokes?
No, that's too cliche. I mean, like, he makes these jokes himself, but they're not funny, you know, maybe.
Okay. Well, like, what is, like, something iconic about the military? Misogyny? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe
he makes jokes about his dick.
No, I got one. I'll do you one better. He makes jokes about his girlfriend's vagina.
What's so funny about a vagina?
I don't know, like it's like when they're big.
Big how?
Like wide.
What?
You know how like when you're sleeping with a woman and like her vagina's big and like there's no friction there? Like he could make jokes about like the echo of the vagina.
Okay, well,
being like a cave.
First of all, I'm a woman and I've never had a penis to insert into a vagina. But I think the biggest thing here is that you just have a small penis.
You know what? I think you just slayed the cat. Unfortunately.
I did.
Slay the cat. Slay the cat. Podcast.
Slay the cat is speaking truth. Slay the cat is proof. Here, let's talk your favorite film. Slay the cat is juiced. Slay the cat podcast. Slay the cat podcast. Slay the cat podcast. Slay the cat podcast.
What's up to all my sexual Tyrannosaurus out there? Welcome to Slay the Cat, a movie podcast. I am your slack-jaw host, Joey.
And I'm his wife, whose blood is like a glow stick fluid, Erin.
Like a glow stick fluid. Yeah, because that's what the Predator's blood was like.
It was.
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with the glow stick fluid outside of the stick?
Yeah, like break it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like every kid's done that.
Okay, well, it's like highlighter fluid.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It was thicker, though, in there.
Was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, in the movie, it seemed like it was thicker.
I don't know.
I wonder how they got that. I wonder how they did that effect.
Glow stick.
But I don't know how well that would have like gotten picked up on the camera.
Transferred.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we haven't done this in a while.
We have not. We've been on a hiatus.
Yeah, we've been on a hiatus.
Hiatus.
Been on a hiatus. But our goal with this podcast has always been to do a minimum of 26 podcasts per year because it was supposed to be bi-weekly, but sometimes we do them every week. Sometimes we don't do them for a month or two or whatever. So we've already done 15 this year. And
So we're over. We only have 5 episodes left to get to that 20.
Yeah. No, 26 episodes.
26.
So we have like
we're
11 to do.
11 to do, yeah.
So for the rest of the year. And we'll probably do a little bit more than 11.
Yeah.
We'll probably get in the groove again. But we've been kind of busy. You know how life is. We don't make any money doing this. So
It's not our number one priority.
no, it's definitely not our number one priority.
Now, if you want to give us money, we're happy to take it.
Yeah, you can Venmo us at joeyanderinpod at gmail.com.
Sure.
But I know none of you are going to do that.
Yeah.
But if you do, the money will go directly to the show. We won't put it in our pockets. We won't buy
Yeah.
dog food with it or anything.
Get like a better mixer or something.
A better
Better
mixer.
microphone.
Better microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would go towards the show.
Yeah. So anyways, Joey, how have you been on this hiatus?
Pretty good. It's summertime, and
Summertime.
my job is not easy.
Except for his job.
My job is not easy during the summer, but this one of the reasons you haven't heard from us is that we got hit by Hurricane Beryl,
Hurricane Beryl.
and we live in Houston. We got hit pretty hard by it, and then our electricity was out for days here in the city. We got ours back pretty fast, but a lot of people didn't.
There were people that I don't even know if it took at least a week,
Yeah,
if not more.
yeah. Some of our neighbors were without power for like 7-8 days or something like that.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So we've been dealing with that in that aftermath. Luckily, we didn't have too much damage.
No, a lot of tree branches fell out of our trees.
Yeah, and one of them hit my car windshield.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I mean, other than, and it's like off in the corner. It's fine for now.
Yeah.
So I don't have to get it dealt with right now. But some things happened, but it wasn't too bad for us. And we also just needed a little bitty break.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we needed a break. Actually, I feel like we should have done the podcast just for like our relationship.
Yeah, this is one of the things that we did this podcast for, so that we could just bond
Yeah.
a little bit more.
So we could work on something creative together because our relationship started in a creative space. And then now you have your job where you get to do theater, but I can't come to your school and be
Yeah.
like, hey, everybody would think I'm a predator.
No,
I brought it back to the movie we're talking about, though.
Yeah. But
But also, I don't want to, hang out with a bunch of high school and middle school kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, we don't get to do much creative stuff together anymore. So it's fun for us to do this podcast.
yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really. That's the end of the podcast, right?
Bye, guys. Don't forget to slay and neuter your cats.
No, let's get your general impressions of Predator. I know
Okay.
you've seen it before because I've watched it with you. So
Yes, I didn't see it before you showed it to me. So like it had been like existing before I mean it was out before I was even born. But I'd never seen it, and it wasn't until like 2 years ago maybe
yeah,
that I saw the movie. And I really enjoyed it. We only watched the first half though.
yeah. One of us went to bed or something.
Yeah.
So is this your first time watching the entire movie?
No, I saw the second half one time when you were watching it.
Oh, okay.
So this isn't like my first/second. It's like my full second.
Your full second?
My full second. Because the first time was only the first half. The second time was like the end part, and this is the
So you saw the whole movie in two pieces,
yes.
and this is the first time you've watched it the whole way through.
yes.
Okay.
So, but my general, like when I first watched the movie, I mean, we talked the entire movie about it. I am very big into costuming and makeup in theater. And for this movie, there's a lot of they did some really interesting things with the makeup and costuming. And they really focused on like, okay, what is it about this character and how can we portray that into the character? So like with, one of the things that they did with the war makeup is like they did like contouring with it, which is interesting because like especially
This is not how you would do camo paint in the
no,
Army.
absolutely not. Well, is there like a specific way you have to do it?
Yeah, I forget exactly because I haven't done it in so many years. But like the parts of your face that like stick out, you want to do it in a certain color, and then like the parts that go
Inward,
you do a different color. There's a specific way to do it.
you probably want to reverse it. So like the parts that are further out would probably be a darker color.
Yeah,
And then
that's what it
the
is.
sunken in places would be a lighter so that you look flat.
Yeah,
Because with contouring and makeup, to make you look on stage like you have a face and not just a circle for a head, is you contour and you sink in the hollows of your cheeks, like you define your nose to make you look more three-dimensional on stage.
yeah. So you can be seen from far away too.
Yeah, because lights are they flatten you out.
Yeah,
they
that's
wash
true.
you out. So
Yeah.
you look like a solid thing, a solid being, I guess. And so with contouring, you can shape out those things. And that's what they kind of did with this. They like what is the guy that was the CIA agent?
Carl Weathers.
Yes. His makeup, if you look at it, it is very much, they used the darkest color on him in his hollows of his cheeks and even like chiseled out his chin with those colors. And then they used like the lighter green to highlight.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun and interesting way to see them doing that. They did the same thing with Arnold's character because they kind of made his cheekbones look like high up and like so that you saw what they look like. Billy, I think his name is. He's the tracker, and they put little half circles under his eyes so that it looks like he's like looking and like they look
Yeah.
like goggles. So he's like always looking out. He's the tracker. It made so much sense for that character. The other ones, like the straight shooter guy, like the very like
Poncho.
like to the T, like he has like stripes across his face, and it just shows how straight laced he is. So that they were very intricate about how they chose their makeup, and I mean the same thing for costuming. If you look at their costumes, they kind of mirror what they were doing. So like, what is the black guy that gets shot in the head?
Mac?
Yeah. He doesn't have any war paint on.
No, he has a little bit on. It's just like he has a very dark complexion. But if you see him in other movies, like his nose is a little less dark. Like they just kind of completely blacked out his face.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
you could see him putting it on, but I was like, did he just do all one color?
Yeah. It's
But
just
he
'cause
was
he's a very
shaving his
dark
face the
complected
whole
dude.
time. But I feel like he's kind of not focused on as much as some of the
Yeah.
other characters. Like, what's the other guy that is like the macho guy with the chin?
Oh, Jesse Ventura?
Yeah, like he's wearing like a Crocodile Dundee hat.
I would not be surprised if that whole character, Jesse Ventura, was a professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if he's like, I want to chew tobacco. I want to wear this weird hat. And
Well,
I
it looks
want to
like
carry the
Crocodile
biggest gun.
Dundee.
Yeah, I
Like
know,
that
but I
kinda-
wouldn't be surprised if Jesse Ventura is like, this is what I want.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just
You
saying
know?
like it's very like. I mean, I don't really know Crocodile Dundee, but I know that hat is very Crocodile Dundee,
Yeah, it's
and they're supposed to be
very-
very masculine.
Yeah, it's very like Australian, like outback.
Yeah.
looking. Yeah.
Tough, rugged.
Yeah.
So they were very specific about like how they chose their costumes, how they chose the makeup, and how they applied it. So whenever we first watched it, that was my very first impression, and I have a little bit of those little things that
Yeah, well, this movie is very similar to a horror movie in a way, like a psycho slasher movie. And you've got this big cast of characters that all need to be killed off. So for the first 30 minutes, we need to establish who they are, like what their thing is.
And that's what the other thing that makeup and hair does is it differentiates who's who.
Right.
So like, I mean, honestly, the straight lace guy and Hopper kind of look similar. They're similar size. They're both white men with blondish kind of hair, but having different makeup really like changed. And you were like, oh, I get what their little.
Yeah, well, it helps you like the little things like that one guy wearing the giant glasses. You immediately go, that's the guy with the big glasses.
Yeah.
Like nobody else is wearing glasses. Jesse Ventura has the safari hat or whatever you want to call it. Like little things like that. So you're never confused about who is who.
Yeah.
It could be very confusing when in the military where everybody wears the same uniform.
Yeah.
The exact same uniform. And also the fact that they're special forces guys, they get to have a little bit more leeway about their uniform. Like special forces guys, when they're out in the field, they can do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody even has a very specific weapon that they use too. You know, like one guy's got a grenade launcher. Arnold Schwarzenegger just got an M16. Like Jesse Ventura, you probably didn't notice this, but
Yeah, because I don't know anything about weapons.
but Jesse Ventura's weapon is extremely stand out because that weapon isn't meant to be held. It's supposed to be mounted on the side of a helicopter.
Oh.
Yeah, and they could only fire for about 6 seconds because the rounds would go so quick. You know, it fires like thousands of rounds a minute. So yeah, like that's one of the best things going for this movie is how well they differentiate everybody and make everybody so interesting. I like this movie less when everybody's dead and it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's where we ended it. So once he told that girl to get to the chopper, that's when we stopped watching the movie the first time.
Yeah, because I like it less after that.
Yeah.
Like the ending's really cool, and I've always said I think Mac should have been the last man standing.
Which one was he?
He was the black guy with the...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really liked his character.
Yeah, and he's a good actor, too.
Yeah.
Like, he's a legitimately good actor, but he has a good reason to live. Is like he wants to avenge his friend's death.
Yeah.
And how cool would it be is if in the last 30 minutes of the movie, the big badass Arnold Schwarzenegger gets killed. And you go, oh, my God,
what's going to happen? There's no one's going to be able to...
If they kill the biggest badass, who could beat the Predator?
That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so and then like you get the idea that Bill Duke...
Remake this movie and change it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, oh, man. I would... so many nerds would come after me for that.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, because you can tell he's an experienced soldier and he's smart and all that. So I think that would have been better.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other impressions?
No, not really. I mean, that's like the biggest thing is like the differentiation of character. Like I couldn't get off of that the first time we watched it. Like we talked about the entire movie or the entire half of the movie.
Talking to the microphone, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to read and trying to figure out. That's it.
Well, I think this is our first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Is it?
I kind of feel like it is. I'm not going to look right now to see, but I feel like I haven't talked about him on this show. When I was growing up, like I was your typical millennial boy, and I was watching action movies all the time. Like my background with this movie is I remember seeing it when I was a kid. I don't remember how I saw it or whatever. Maybe it was just on TV, but I loved it, and I like. Arnold Schwarzenegger was like my action hero guy. Like I love the Terminator movies. And I liked Stallone. And then later when I saw Die Hard, I was like, oh, Bruce Willis is my guy, you know, like because he was in a lot of action movies. But watching this, I was thinking about how Arnold like is such a specific type.
Yes, very
right?
much so.
Like, he's not a great actor, but he had this pretty big career as a
Yeah.
film star just because of how specific he is. And I don't think anybody will ever be like that again. Like, you could maybe say The Rock is like that, but I don't think, like...
I mean, he's doing Moana and shit. So.
Yeah. But I just mean, like, him, like, his look, like, the way his face looks, the way that he's like
Built.
a bodybuilder. Like, he's the most famous bodybuilder that's ever lived.
Yeah.
And he would be even if he never became a movie star. And he's got that accent,
Yeah.
you know, and that way of speaking that is completely defines him. Like, there's nobody else like that.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like, The Rock is like a big muscular guy.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, I think he's more boring though. I don't like Dwayne Johnson
I don't
that
care.
much. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really big into Arnold Schwarzenegger
Of
because
course
he's
you're
not a
not.
good actor. But it was interesting. There was one
But
point.
you're telling me that The Rock, as an actor, he's not an actor.
I'm not
either.
saying he's
I
better.
know. I'm not. I know you're not. I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
I'm saying you're saying. I'm not saying you're saying. I'm asking you. Do you think Dwayne Johnson is more engaging to watch than Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, but I'm also saying Arnold's not that engaging to watch.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm just saying he's more so.
More so than The Rock, yes.
Yeah, because Arnold Schwarzenegger is not a.
I'm
great
not
actor.
disagreeing with you. He's iconic, but I mean, he's not entertaining for me to watch because I'd prefer to watch a better actor.
I think most people would.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, he's interesting. The first time I ever saw Arnold Schwarzenegger that I like really recognized him was Turbo Man.
You mean Jingle,
Jingle
All
All
the
the Way?
Yeah.
Yeah, as Turbo Man and the dad.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time I ever... Oh, I guess he did children's movies too.
Yeah, he did like Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons he's popular with kids is because he's just this big freak with a funny accent.
With
and
the
stuff.
funny voice.
Yeah, I mean that's what hooked me when I was a kid. You know.
That's what hooked our daughter. She likes him.
Yeah, I don't think she does anymore. She was like that one day. She's like, "Daddy, that's our favorite actor." And I was like, "Okay."
But yeah, I mean, he's iconic. And I mean, I feel like a lot of action stars have a very like,
They're very limited.
yes, but also just like they always have to have something weird about them, like Stallone.
Totes, totally.
Like, what is your voice?
Yeah, it's Stallone.
He sounds like he's choking on his tongue.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, that's not cool. You can talk about my voice that way?
Yeah, it sounds like you sound like a doofus.
Yeah, he definitely has a very specific voice. A lot of action stars are not.
And he's
good
weird.
actors.
He's a little odd looking.
Yeah, he does have.
He looks like he got punched in the face, and it just stayed that way.
He's famous for playing a boxer.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying he looks like he got punched in the face, and it stayed that way.
Yeah, he's got a very specific look, and he's very built too. Like, you know, he's a health nut or whatever. But also, like, Bruce Willis is not a classically trained actor.
I would prefer to watch him though.
Yeah, he's
way better.
He's
of
got
an
the
actor.
most charisma of anybody. But he's not a classically trained actor like
But he's not bad.
No, he's definitely not bad. There's certain roles that he just can't do, but then you've got people like Jean-Claude Van Damme who can barely speak English.
I don't know who that is.
You know who he is.
It sounds familiar, but
Yeah,
what was
if
he
you
in?
saw him, you'd be tons of stuff. He was like
That narrows it
in
down.
Bloodsport. I was watching Bloodsport the other night.
Okay, I don't know that movie.
Yeah, and then Steven Seagal, he's another predator, sexual predator.
Oh,
Yeah, but there's a ton of guys in the action genre who are not good actors. It's like they just have a look or a skill. Like being able to do martial arts really well is a good skill.
Yeah.
You know?
yep. Period. Done. So, do you want to get into the movie?
Yeah, there was another thing I was going to talk about, but now I forgot what it was.
Oh, no. I'm kidding. How
I
long
know,
was
you're
the
gonna be
movie?
mean to me. An hour and 40 minutes.
It seems longer.
It does, because it, like, the third act, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just...
After all of them have died, it's very...
Yeah, this movie, people love this movie, and that's why do you know about any of the sequels?
Yeah. Well,
Eh.
the first time I ever heard about Predator was when Alien versus Predator came out.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, I didn't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, those movies are terrible.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I had never seen Alien either, so I was just like, I don't give a fuck.
They've made like 3 Predator movies in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they've made comics about it. Like, it's
I
been
knew
a
it
big
was
thing.
popular, but I just didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I never really kept up with it. I just kind of like this movie, and that's about it. I think there was one that came out in like 2018 with Adrian Brody that I thought was pretty good.
Okay.
Or was that 2008? I don't know.
Is that the Predators?
They transport people to the Predator planet in that one.
Oh, okay.
I think. But I thought that one was pretty fun. Yeah.
I've never seen any other Predators movies. I've never even seen Alien versus Predator.
Oh my God, Aaron.
I know.
Who gives a shit? Yeah, I'm not. I tried to. One of them came out when I worked at Blockbuster, and I tried to watch it. I could not get through it.
Aw.
It was so bad. I was like, nope, taking this back to work. Okay.
When how far apart was Alien and Predator?
You mean when they were made?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Alien came out in 79.
Oh,
and then
wow. So,
Predator came out in 87.
Okay, yeah. Good amount of time.
Yeah. So 8 years? Yeah. But I could see how somebody would be like, wouldn't it be cool if these two
Yeah, totally.
things fought each other? Yeah. Because we talked about makeup, but we didn't talk about how cool the Predator looks.
Yeah, the Predator's really awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have a note in here is about his little mask. Like, so whenever he like finds Arnold after he's like hidden from him, from camouflaging himself, he like takes all his stuff off so he can fight him like fisticuffs.
Yeah.
And
I like that you use fisticuffs.
but I was like, why? You just want to kill him. But I was like, okay, I get like, it's like to make it like, he's like, I hate you. I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
But whenever he takes off his mask, he can't see. And I was like, "Aw, his mask is corrective lenses."
You felt a kindredship with him.
I know. I
because
was like,
you-
"Aw, I'm blind too."
and then you're like, oh, damn, I wish I had thermal heat vision.
I know. If I had thermal heat vision, oh my gosh, I would be able to at least see a little bit.
What do you want, Joliet? All right, so keep forgetting the thing I want to talk about, but I remembered it.
Sorry for that cut.
Okay, this is... Our daughter came in the room, so we dealt with her for a minute. The thing that I really like about this movie is the people in it feel real.
Yes.
Right? Like, these are the most badass dudes in the military. They're special forces.
Mm-hmm.
They're a rescue operative thing. I don't
Team.
know. Yeah, but anyway, I like this era of action films when the characters could be like, I'm scared, or they could show
Yeah.
vulnerability. Like, these are the most badass guys there are, and they're still saying, like, I'm scared. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know how are we going to get out of this.
Like the tracker got Billy.
Yeah.
Like whenever they're like, why is he not moving? Like, what's wrong? And then he goes up and Arnold goes up to him and he asks him like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like I'm stopped. I've stopped because I'm scared. There's something in these trees and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and all the characters at some point in the movie like show concern, or like when Blaine gets killed, like Bill Duke is upset about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That was my friend" and stuff. So
Yeah, that was made me sad. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they must have had a little gay relationship or something. I'm kidding. But that'd be cute.
who knows what goes on out in the field? But Yeah, and it was
What
like
do you have to say about it? I'm just kidding.
I was a mechanic, okay? But anyway, I appreciate that about this film, that they feel like real people. Like, you watch the Fast and the Furious movies, and all the characters are not afraid of anything. They're all superheroes. They never get hurt, you know?
Yeah, like Vin Diesel.
Yeah. And, like, if someone gets killed, they're like,
He's
oh.
interesting looking.
Like, there was one of the Fast movies that I saw where Gal Gadot gets killed, and, like, nobody reacts to it. It's like this, you just saw this woman die, and then like the next scene they're all celebrating that they pulled off the heist. It's like, why aren't you guys upset that one of your people got killed?
Yeah.
You say that they're family all the time. Yeah, but that's something I appreciate about this movie. All right, so done ranting about it.
Okay.
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the movie's plot.
Okay, so it opens up. We got just some plain, boring credits going on, and it's in space. And then a space shuttle comes out of nowhere.
And drop something off on a planet.
It shoots like a capsule down. And now, if you're listening to this, you've probably seen Predator. Like
Most people have.
a minimum of 5 times in your life, right? But try to put yourself in the shoes of someone in 1987 who is going to see this movie for the very first time. In the theater, they don't know. They're like, what the hell is going on? The spaceship just shit out a little capsule that went towards Earth. And then the very next thing we know is helicopters are landing on a beach.
Yeah. Right. Which, whenever I watched it this time, I didn't realize that happened in the first time we watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't register it. And then whenever I watched it this time, I was like, wait, is this all happening on another planet? I thought it was the guys getting dropped off. But then I realized, oh, it's the Predator.
Yeah. Yeah, but if what I'm saying is like in 1987, you would have just been like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So
What was that?
that's really cool. When we do these movies, I like to think like, hey, I'm somebody when this movie came out and I don't know anything. I'm completely in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of movies you see, you know about ahead of time.
Yes.
Right. And then so a Huey, which is the name of a helicopter, lands on a beach, and there's all these guys getting off of it, and then you see Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's silhouetted.
And he's like smoking a cigar.
Smoking a cigar. Yeah, and then he jumps down from there, and you're like, wow, man, I bet you these guys are total badasses. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then they go meet the general, and the general is happy to see Dutch. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger's name. Yeah.
Also, that general, like, he comes in and he says Dutch, or what is his other guy's name?
Dutch?
No, the other guy.
Oh, Dylan.
Oh yeah, he's like, Dylan. And then they're like,
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. And then they arm wrestle in the air.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. No, it's like they're shaking hands, but they're both like, they're showing that they're badasses and they have a competitive relationship.
No, I get that. But like, do people actually do that?
No.
Okay.
I've never done that anyway. But
we're going to do it tonight.
Hold on. I asked you if you knew.
We're going to air wrestle. Air arm wrestle.
Air arm wrestle. All right. So I asked you if you knew the handshake meme from the internet, and you said no. But right? It'd
no,
be
I've never seen it.
Yeah. It'd be like this. So both their hands together are bankrupting MoviePass, and then Dutch's arm is Mamma Mia fans, and Carl Weathers' arm is Mission Impossible
What's
fans.
a MoviePass?
Some movie thing where you could see as many movies as you want.
This one makes sense.
What? Oh, okay.
So it's one arm is Fortnite streamers, and the other arm is Bill Clinton, and then together it says not having sexual relations with a woman.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was really surprised you'd never seen this meme.
No,
Yeah, I mean, none of them are particularly funny, but
that's probably why.
yeah. Oh, I like this one. So the one in the middle, the hands together, is constantly being asked if you play basketball, and one arm says black people and the other says tall people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned a long time ago, don't just ask somebody if they play basketball.
Do you play basketball?
Don't ask Asian people if they know martial arts, and don't ask people if they play basketball. All right.
Unless they're short.
Unless they're short.
And white.
Short. You can ask a short white guy. No, I feel like that would come off as condescending too.
Good.
Hey, how tall are you? 5'6". Do you play basketball?
Do you play basketball?
All right, so they find out that a cabinet member has been captured. Now, this whole thing is very confusing
I
about
was
this
just
film.
about to say that. Like, this whole first part, you're like, what is
Yeah.
happening? Because they just kind of mumble through. Also, we weren't able to put subtitles up, and so I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah, this movie didn't have subtitles. I feel like that was strategic because the filmmakers are like, well, we don't want people to know that we're bad at writing. So. No, I'm joking.
But like a lot of the things that were said were kind of hard to understand or hear.
Yeah, but what you really need to take away from this part is that there is a cabinet member who has been captured by a guerrillas.
Supposedly,
this is all a lie, but Dutch and his men are a rescue group.
and they're going in to save some helicopter pilots.
Yeah, well, they don't know about the helicopter pilots yet.
Oh.
All they know is that there's a cabinet member in there, and they have to go extract them. And Arnold Schwarzenegger says, like, we're not an infantry unit or whatever. We're a rescue group. That's what we do. We're not assassins. That's what he says. We're not assassins. So they just, like, from that exchange, you get like, oh, these are not people who go in there to, like, kill people. They're like the good guys in a way. Okay, Joliet,
Our
go
daughter's
sit
trying to
down
do
and-
ASMR with her mac and cheese.
Go sit, Joliet. Go eat your mac and cheese, please.
Gosh.
Oh, sorry for that interruption.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Go away.
And then we also find out that Dylan, Carl Weathers, is going to go with them. And Dutch is like, no, me and my men, we work alone. And you say, okay, they have.
Why does he want to go in?
Yeah, why does he want to go in? And also, Dutch and him have history together. So it's like, if they were friends, he would be like, yeah, sure, you can come along. So you kind of get the idea is like, okay, maybe he doesn't fully trust him.
Yeah.
Right. And he tries to tell the general, like, my men work alone. And the general says, look, we all have our orders. So he's going to go with them, whether they like it or not.
And whenever this was happening, I wasn't understanding why they were going in. So.
Yeah.
But they fly in together and they're playing some like disco song.
No, I think it's Little Richard and Having Me Some Fun Tonight.
Everybody. No, that's not right.
No, it's not Wang Chung. That would be really funny. These badasses suiting up. It's like, everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wing Chung tonight.
But what was the song?
It was Little Richard.
But how does the song go? Sing it for us.
Woo! Having me some fun tonight. I can't do it.
Okay.
Little Richard has talent. I don't.
Okay.
We might share a first name, but I don't have that guy's talent.
Well, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but it's a really good needle drop, and it's kind of like, I feel like if this movie came out today, it would be like Godsmack or like Let the Bodies Hit the Floor or some crap like that. Right? Because they're military guys. But it was like this real swinging guy at a piano type thing.
It was an interesting choice.
Yeah, and I really like it.
It was good.
Yeah.
And then they land.
Hey, don't skip over the part in the helicopter is really good.
Okay.
So they're like flying through this alley, and like it's cool because the helicopters are like moving back and forth, and then we get some banter between like the guys. Like Jesse Ventura is like offering everybody chew.
Yeah.
Chewing tobacco.
And he also spits on the general's shoe.
Yeah, he spits on Carl Weathers' shoe, and he's like, "That's a real nasty habit you got there." And then he says everybody doesn't want it, so he calls them all slack-jawed F words. Do you remember that?
No, I didn't get that.
And he says, if you eat this, it'll make you a sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me. And also, this is when Hawkins, the guy with the big glasses, he's his name is Shane Black. He is the screenwriter for this movie, and he wrote a bunch of action movies over the years.
Okay.
But he even remember we watched Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he has
That's
these
not the
giant.
one with like all the different monsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has big glasses, and you're like, oh, he's a smart guy. But he's reading something, and somebody throws some tape at him, and he catches it. So you're like, oh, he may be a nerd, but he's got like reflexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
He deserves to be here.
Yeah, he's got value to the team, and that's when he tells Sonny Landham his first pussy joke.
Yeah. Terrible joke.
So, what did you think about the jokes, Aaron?
Gross. I don't think vagina jokes are funny.
No, I don't either.
So
It's not the jokes themselves that are funny. It's the context of like these military guys and this nerdy guy trying to make one of his friends laugh with his bad jokes.
are they his friend? I feel like he's trying to make them his friend.
Maybe.
And he's just not good at it.
Maybe
that's
he's newer to the group or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But because he does look younger than a lot of the guys. But it was so funny because Sonny doesn't laugh at it.
Yeah, okay. I didn't hear this joke.
Oh,
when we watched
he
it.
says he's like, I went to my girlfriend. I said, hey, can I get a little pussy? And she goes, yeah, me too. Mine's as big as a house.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, but then it's also funny too that Sonny Landham, Billy, doesn't react to it. He just looks at him like, shut up.
Yeah. He's
So-
like putting on war paint now.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah. A lot of people are putting on camo paint. Yeah. So then they land, or sort of. They rappel out of the helicopter, and then the helicopters
Yeah.
take off. And I would say the sound mixing was really good in that, because they rappel down, and then you can hear the helicopters fly away. It like fades out.
Cool.
Yeah, and it sounded like real helicopters too. It sounded like a Huey to me.
Oh, okay.
So I used to. One of the units that I was in when I was in the Army was a aviation unit.
But they are walking in the woods and they see this. I didn't know what it was. It was stuck in a tree, but it was helicopter.
Uh-huh.
And like someone climbed up inside and was like looking around inside to try to figure out what happened.
Yeah, and it was Poncho, and he's like, yeah, there's the two helicopter pilots were kidnapped and taken. Mm-hmm. And then Billy...
By gorillas.
Yeah, by gorillas. And then Billy comes up and he's like, yeah, the gorillas went this way, but then somebody followed the gorillas. Like a group of men followed the gorillas, right? And they're like, okay. And then Carl Weathers tries to cover up, and he's like, I didn't know about any operations going on. Mm-hmm. So we further like see that maybe he's not a trustworthy guy.
I thought it was saying like something or someone was following them. Not necessarily like a group of people following the gorillas, but like the predator following the gorillas.
Well, the thing is, every time they try to track the predator is they can't find any tracks.
Okay.
So maybe I'm getting this wrong because it is kind of convoluted, but what I thought was they took the helicopter pilots and then somebody tried to follow the gorillas that kidnapped the helicopter pilots. But then later, like a few steps down the road, they find those bodies hanging in the tree.
Yeah.
the predator killed the guys who were following the gorillas.
Oh.
And they keep mentioning a guy named Hopper in the movie, and like they find the dog tags, and Arnold Schwarzenegger goes, "I knew these men; they were from Bragg." So they're like saying these were other special forces guys, because special forces is like a smaller community, so they know a lot of each other. So he's like, "Oh, I know these men, and they're dead, but we know the predator killed them because they got skinned alive."
Yeah.
Does it make more sense now?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Whenever I've watched this movie in the past, I've kind of just, because I've seen it so many times, I kind of just never really paid attention. I was like, I get the point, like they go out there and they find out that it wasn't what they thought, and then they find out that they're being hunted by an alien.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of waiting for the action points. That
Yeah.
come up,
Because like whenever I was watching it, I was like, because I couldn't understand what they were talking about in the first part. I thought, oh, they're going in to kill the predator, but they don't know about the predator until later.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now they're just confused because they don't know how those guys got skinned alive.
Then they keep going, and then they find the camp, right?
Yeah. But then Billy comes up and he says there was a firefight and they fired a bunch of rounds, but they didn't hit anything and there's no tracks.
Oh, okay.
So before,
because I saw him pick up bullets, but I didn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah. So before,
I think there's some military talk in here, maybe that you're understanding and I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I have no clue about any kind of military talk. And
Yeah.
so
But this,
I think some of it's going over my head.
yeah, I think
I get
this-
the gist.
Yeah, but that's really all you need to know. You don't really need to know the minor details of it. But since we're doing this for a podcast and we're like taking notes on it,
Yeah.
But I think everybody who watched this movie, who's a fan of this movie, is a little bit unclear about that part. And I think the filmmakers, when they were editing it together, were like, "This doesn't make sense." But they're like, "We don't really have any."
Whatever.
We gotta
gotta
get
keep
this,
going.
You gotta put this movie out. Yeah, but Billy says like there was a firefight. The special forces guys were shooting at something, but they never hit anything, and he couldn't find any tracks. So that meant that they might have been shooting at nothing. But
Yeah.
then now they're hanging skinned alive, right?
Yeah. Oh, the guys following them were shooting at the predator and then they died.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this really, all this is supposed to evoke in the viewer is like, there's some unknown thing
Yeah.
that killed these guys, and it's confusing, and it's even freaking out the special forces guys because they don't know what to make of it, and it's freaking them out.
Yeah.
Right. But then we see the thermal vision. This is the first time we see the thermal vision.
And it's following them going to that camp.
Right.
I love the use of thermal vision to like show the predator,
Yeah.
like what he's looking at and what he's preying on.
Yeah.
I think it's a really smart choice because it's just like following them with like regular camera. You'd be like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, and it's like a cool, unique thing because
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that in a movie before. This, like, people used it after that all
Yeah.
the time, but like that was new. And the POV of it, that's another kind of horror movie thing because like you watch the old Friday the 13th movies, like the first 4. There's a lot of Jason POV.
Yeah.
Where you just see his hands like move a bush out of the way or something like that. So
In the second one.
yeah, in the second one, and I guess it's in the first one. It's his mom, but there's a lot of killer POV in those movies.
Yeah.
So then they move along and they find the gorilla's camp.
And this was also confusing to me because I was like, it's just, well, Arnold kind of goes down and is kind of scoping it out, and they see someone and they shoot him. Or the gorillas have someone already in their camp and they shoot them. And I didn't understand what that was. If it was a helicopter guy.
Oh, yeah, that was what it was.
Because, like, how long have they been out here? Because you had a second group coming, and then you called them in. So it has to be, like, several days.
Yeah.
But maybe they were trying to, like, get something out of him, and they were, like, done with him.
I guess. Yeah. They were probably, like, looking for information, and then they killed the guy. But the important thing is, like, Dutch and his men see that they killed the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, we have a reason to attack these guys too.
Yeah.
Because they're a rescue team. So,
Mm-hmm.
So then they sort of like kill perimeter guards and then they set up like.
Which it was pretty cool. This is a fun
Yeah.
scene to watch.
Yeah, this was a really fun scene. It's just got like old fashioned action, and it like I love the springboards where like there's an explosion,
And then the guys jump up in the
fly
air.
up in the air. Yeah, and you can tell the explosion is like 100 feet behind them or whatever. And there's a guy on fire,
And he comes out shooting, and they shoot him.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, all kinds of things are blowing up. Jesse Ventura is using that giant minigun. Arnold Schwarzenegger lifts up a truck.
Yeah.
He puts a bomb in it and then he lifts it up and it drives into the camp.
Yeah,
and
which is
blows
how
up.
everything kind of starts.
Yeah.
The big shootout. And then I guess they kill everyone, and they're just like,
Yeah.
we got to get to the chopper.
Yeah, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger has like one-liners, like he throws a knife through a guy.
Yeah, and he's like, stick
around.
around. Yeah, and then he comes in through a room and says something too.
He says knock knock.
Oh yeah, knock knock.
Which is so weird. I want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie today, like doing one-liners about things he doesn't understand.
Oh,
You know, because he's older now.
You don't think he understood knock knock?
No, like I think he totally understands it. I just think that's a bad joke.
Oh, okay.
But him like now trying to like use modern slang in a movie, like, you know, kicking a door and be like skibbity toilet and like
Skibbity toilet. That would be funny.
yeah, walk into a room of bad guys and be like, I've got cake,
I don't get that.
like a butt. Like I don't know slang. What's another slang term?
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Like what's something that like rappers say or something like that?
I don't know. I don't listen to rap.
Well, no, what's that song?
Yeah.
Wet ass pussy.
WAP?
Yeah. Could he use that one?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Weak ass person. I don't know.
Yeah. You're kicking a door and going, your pull-out game is weak. What? What is he talking about?
You're what does that even mean? Like, you get pregnant people? Are people pregnant often?
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyways, so they kill all the people, and then they're like, Arnold confronts the general and is like, this wasn't a rescue mission like you said it was. This was to take out people. I don't remember what the general says to that though.
Yeah, he said he says like you tricked us. Like essentially, that place was going to be a big hornet's nest. Like a bunch of communist groups were going to meet, like the Russians and the Cubans, and then they were going to invade or something like that.
Okay.
And he's like, you used us. And Carl Weathers is like, look, you're an expendable asset. And like, I did what I needed to do. And look, you guys pulled it off anyway because you're the best, you know? So
Yeah.
he's like, you need to wake up and realize what you are.
And there's a woman who they've captured. Kind of.
Yeah. I don't understand why they killed everybody else. And
Yeah.
then they took this one who doesn't seem to know anything at all.
Yeah.
Why they took her,
Because you can't kill a woman.
I guess not.
I don't know.
Well, also they knocked her unconscious, so it would be kind of like, it would be uncool to kill somebody who got knocked unconscious. But anyway, they take her as a
I feel like it's not
prisoner of war.
cool to kill anyone. But anyway.
I mean, honestly, you know, you want to get right down to it. It is not cool to kill people. Mm-hmm. And you don't believe in the death penalty, do you?
no.
No, neither do I. It just doesn't make sense. You can keep somebody locked away forever.
Yeah.
And ever and ever. Whatever. Just do that.
You're not going to escape.
Yeah.
Very few. Anyways, The movie feels long.
Yeah.
But then they are like, oh, we have to go to get picked up by the chopper. But they call someone in and they're like, we can't pick you up. You have to go to this area. The valley, is that what they said?
Yeah, well, they go to Billy and they say, how do we get to this rendezvous point? And he's like, the only way to get there is through this valley, and I don't wish that on a broke dick dog.
Why? Why is a valley not good to go on?
Jungle is extremely difficult terrain to navigate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why, like, one of the reasons we lost Vietnam is just, like, it's this big jungle. Mm-hmm. And it was hard to fight a war in it. But also I want to bring up...
but why are valleys even worse than mountains?
I don't know.
Maybe you can't see out as much.
Maybe. I don't know.
Whatever.
That's why they're setting it up and telling us, like, that's a really treacherous way to go, because it might not be. You know, it's like that thing in Jurassic Park about the T-Rex, their hunting is based on movement.
Yeah.
That wasn't real. They just made it in the screenplay. They told you it was real. So.
Oh, okay.
So that valley is treacherous because the movie tells us so.
Okay.
I don't know. I was not an infantry guy in the Army, so a lot of these questions I just can't answer.
Okay.
If you want to know how to fix a Humvee, I'm your guy.
I don't. So they start going toward this rendezvous point, and the general's like, we're taking her with us, this lady. And Arnold's character, Dutch, is right?
Yeah.
He's like, well, she's your baggage. So if you fall behind, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm taking my guys out of here.
Yeah, some other things I want to bring up, I forgot to mention, was at one point, Dylan, like, messes up and, like, falls down, and Matt comes up to him and he's like, hey, if you give our position away again, I'm going to bleed you real quiet and leave you. You remember that part?
No.
Okay. So they don't have a good relationship. They set that up.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's another part where Jesse Ventura is trying to kill a guy, and Poncho comes up to him and he's like, this guy's dug in like an Alabama tick. You don't remember that part? And the guy goes, you're bleeding. And he's like, I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, I heard the I ain't got time to bleed part.
That's one of the best lines in the movie to me. I don't have time to bleed.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to say that, but rarely does anybody ever say, hey, you're bleeding.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, you're bleeding.
I ain't got time to bleed.
There, you got to do it.
It doesn't feel organic because I wasn't actually bleeding.
I think I've asked you, like, or told you, like, hey, Joey, you're bleeding, and you didn't do that line. So that's on you.
Oh, okay. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be on your period right now, would you?
What? Yeah.
Oh, because I was going to say you're bleeding.
I am bleeding.
No, say the line, Aaron.
No.
Say I ain't got time to bleed.
Well, I was like, why are you airing out my laundry? Hey, guys, heads up. I'm on my period. I thought you were, because I thought I told you.
Aaron, you're on your period for real?
For real.
Okay, I'm going to get out the bear repellent. Because I heard periods attract bears.
Well, we don't have any bears in Houston except at the zoo, so I think we're fine.
Do you want me to cut this part out?
Probably, yeah. I don't care, whatever.
All right. I'm putting an M there for a little marker.
Okay, ask me again. Oh, well, I guess never mind. Whatever. So they're walking through, and I don't know what they stumble upon.
Well, no, hold on.
Okay.
They do the thing about the valley. The valley's treacherous, and Carl Weathers is walking by, and Max says, "Hey, come over here." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "Look over there." Like, he makes a motion with his eyes for him to look, and he turns around and he stabs him, and he's like, "What? You stabbed me?" And it turns out he's got a scorpion
on his back.
Yeah. So Mac helped him, and then when they leave, the predator's watching through his thermal vision again, and
he's mimicking the sounds. Like
Yeah.
he's like registering like, and he learns to say anytime.
yeah.
And then he also hears, I think it's Billy's laugh, and he mimics that.
Yeah.
Which that one was creepy.
Yeah, that was cool. Billy's got a good laugh. And you remember why he laughs, Aaron?
No.
Because he got told another pussy joke.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember it? You want me to say it?
Yeah, I remember that one.
I won't say it.
Okay. Cool. But I remember
I'm sure everybody knows it. I won't say it.
it's the one about the echo.
Yeah. But then the predator picks up the scorpion and he looks at it in his hand.
And it's all black.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why it would be black.
Because it's dead now.
Are scorpions cold-blooded?
Jeez, I don't know. I don't think
Oh.
so. They're not a reptile.
Okay. But it's a bug kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure it gives off a heat signature.
Okay. Well, anyways, the scorpion's like dead in his hand, and you see like the outline of his hand and this black scorpion in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to look at.
Yeah. I think it holds up really well. Mm-hmm. You know, I think, they probably could have made that effect look a lot better now, but I think given 1987, I think it looks really great.
Yeah.
So then they're moving through the valley, and we see Blaine and Mac talking, and he's like, "This place makes Cambodia look like Kansas." Mm-hmm. So
Because it's like super lush.
yeah, it's very thick jungle, and he's like, "If you get lost out here, you're in a world of hurt." So again, they're setting up like these guys are, even though they're like the
Top of the line.
yeah, the top of the
Top
line
shelf.
badass, top shelf badasses, that this is like really treacherous, right? So then the POW tries to escape by throwing leaves in someone's face.
Oh no,
Remember that?
she has a stick in her hand.
That's later. That's a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Well, she falls
Yeah.
and then she throws leaves and
Yeah.
she tries to escape.
Yeah, and she doesn't get very far. Mm-hmm. And then Billy's kind of spooked, but we don't know why yet.
Yeah. So Billy, and I noticed in this in this time that I saw it, that you can kind of see the little predator in the trees. It's very faint.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to see it. You're just kind of looking around like, what is he looking at? But I think I saw it. Unless it's not there, then I put that in my brain. But he thinks he sees something and he stops everyone in their tracks. And this is when she has a stick.
Yeah.
And she, Dylan, he goes, he's like, hey, watch her. And he's going down to try to figure out what's going on. And she takes that stick and like hits the guy with it. I think it's
Yeah.
the straight lace guy.
Yeah, she hits Poncho with it and runs. And
then-
this time she gets a lot further.
Yeah. And then the
Hawkins
Hopkins is chasing her.
Yeah, Hawkins catches up to her and stops her, and then when he does, he gets attacked by the predator, like blown up or whatever.
And then, no, he's not blown up. He's, maybe one part. Like he
Yeah,
gets
well, they
shot.
don't show it.
Yeah, she
but I
just gets
assume-
blood splattered on her.
Yeah, I assume he shoots that big laser at him.
And then, he then, like, you see, like, the tree kind of, the predator in camouflage, like, dragging him away.
Yeah.
And they meet up with her, and they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's like some weird cloaking thing that
Yeah.
he uses. It's not quite camouflage, but it looks like a mirror, sort of. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think it seems like it would reflect what's behind you in front of you.
Yeah.
Anyways, and they're like, well, what's going on? What happened? And she tells Poncho in Spanish, like, what happened. And he goes, oh, well, she saw the the trees came to life and then they dragged him away.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And Dylan's even like, that's not what she said. What she said don't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I guess
Dylan,
he speaks Spanish.
Dylan's not that bright.
No.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think he says, like, oh, they did the same thing to Hawkins that happened to Hopper, which was the Special Forces guy from Bragg that he was talking about earlier.
Yeah. And then Poncho is like walking through the woods trying to find him because everyone's looking for him.
Yeah.
And he stumbles upon this like pile of guts,
Yeah.
which I guess is his skin.
Yeah, and he says he thinks it's Hawkins. Right? But then there's a really cool shot. Like, there's some blood dripping on the ground, and the camera pans up.
Well,
up and up
So
and
they're
up.
looking for blood on the ground, but nothing is there. But then they go up to a leaf that's got tons of blood on it.
Yeah.
And then they pan up.
But the pan is really long.
It is super
Like,
long because
they
you're like,
must-
where is he at? And you're like, oh my gosh, he's so high up.
Yeah, so that camera, they must have had it on like a 20-foot rig, and they're just like going up and up and up. Because I was watching, and I was like, this shot is like a good 30 seconds or something.
It's long, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool as hell. And then it doesn't cut until it gets to Hawkins.
But they don't know where he's at, so they're just like, okay, I guess we got to keep going.
Yeah, so they keep going, and then this is when Ventura, he's got his gun out, and I think he has a name for it,
I don't know.
but he's like, you're gonna get a taste of old
Lucy.
Betsy or whatever, Lucille, yeah, and then it's like a skunk comes out of nowhere, and
Is it a skunk? I thought it was a porcupine.
might have been a porcupine.
Because it was like, I was like, what kind
I
of
don't,
animal?
yeah, I don't think it
fuck
was
is
a
that?
skunk.
It looks weird.
Yeah,
but
but
it doesn't look like a porcupine either. Anyways.
Anyway, it comes out, and then all of a sudden his chest explodes.
Oh, well. Yeah, because the predator is watching them, and he sees the heat signature of the possum. No, that's later.
Yeah, that's later. But yeah, anyway, the predator kills Ventura, right? And this is when Max shows up, and he sees the predator in his cloaking thing, but he sees his eyes glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
And he starts like shooting all around.
Yeah,
And he gets one shot in the predator's leg.
yeah. But it's crazy because he picks up Ventura's giant gun,
And you saw, like, you could see him struggle to pick it up to,
Yeah.
like, start shooting it.
But it was when they're shooting at all the trees and stuff. That was for real.
Really?
Yeah. Because how else would they get that shot? So they put a bunch of bullets in that gun and they just fired it into the trees. And then all the other commandos show up and they start shooting at the trees. And they just like all these trees fell down on. Oh man, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
Yeah.
I really like that scene.
Yeah, and then I think Billy goes out there and he's like, "We didn't hit anything. There's no trace." Like no, he says something like, "No man could have survived that."
Yeah.
And he's like, is he implying that it wasn't a man? Right. So if you're seeing this for the first time, you're like, that mirrory thing I saw was kind of shaped like a guy, but
Yeah.
and then you're thinking like, oh wait, the spaceship in the beginning, right? So now you're starting to put it together.
So, but then while they're walking, the girl that they captured, she sees some of his radioactive blood.
What is it, Spider-Man?
I don't know.
You've got radioactive blood.
Spider-Man,
But
Spider-Man,
his
you've got
neon
radio,
blood.
Spider-Man.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
His neon blood is on a leaf, and she touches it and then wipes it on her pants. It's not like eating through her or anything. It's just like very brightly colored
Yeah.
and glows. So it like puts a mark like, oh, I can tell where he is based off of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think she knows what it is yet.
No, maybe not. But anyway, they have to hunker down for the night because you can't move at night. It's too dark. So they set up a perimeter.
And they
And-
have like all these like flares and things.
Yeah. To alert them if somebody comes into the camp. And Mac talks to Dutch, and he's like, yeah, Ventura was a good soldier. And he's like, yeah, that guy, he was my friend. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to see the body, and he puts a flask with the body for some reason. Mm-hmm. And then this is when we see the Predator without his cloaking on for the first time.
Yeah, and he's like trying to like patch up his wound.
Yeah, and we see that he's got like interesting technology, and he can patch himself up. He might have antibiotics because he's got like a needle that he injects stuff in. And when he closes up his wound, he screams, and everybody hears it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I thought that was a cool touch.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but you're like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. If you were one of those guys out in the middle of the jungle, you'd be like, I'm fucking scared.
Yeah. So they like it's at night, and everyone's asleep except Mac. And he's like kind of keeping eye out. And then the flares start going off, and everyone starts waking up. And then this thing jumps on Mac. And you see Mac in the shadows just like stabbing, and you see like blood squirting up. And I was like, wait, that's not radioactive blood. That's not spider blood. So I immediately was like, oh, that's not the Predator. And then like they shine a light on him, and it's a hog.
Yeah.
Or boar or something.
Yeah, some sort of boar or something like that. But also before that, they set up a radio, and they're trying to call for extraction, but they can't get anybody to extract them where they are. Mm-hmm. And while I don't know if the Predator figured out a way to set loose that boar, but they go and they check on Blaine's body, and it's gone. Mm-hmm. So did he make that distraction so he could go in there and steal that body?
I don't know.
Right. But it was pretty cool because they set up this perimeter to get tripped off, and the Predator just slipped in there, stole this body of a pretty big guy, and just left no trace. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't know at all. So what I really like about this movie is the way they just keep piling on. It's like they are no match for the Predator. This thing is like just too good.
Yeah.
You know, so as the movie goes on, you get more and more freaked out.
Yeah. You know? So it's the next day, and they're like, we have to like get out of here as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah.
I went blank.
Yeah, they're like trying to figure out what to do, and I think this is when they say the thing about the blood, right? They find out.
She has the blood on her pants, and they're like, what is this? And she was like, it was blood that. And they kind of shake it out of her, but like,
this is where she starts speaking English, right?
Yes. But she's like, it had blood. Like it was like, this is the blood of it. And, Arnold says, well, if it can bleed, it can be killed.
Yeah. And this is the point, like they talk to Billy, and Billy's like, I'm scared. Mm-hmm. And Pancho goes, bullshit. You're not afraid of any man. And he's like, it ain't no man.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like, okay, this is serious. And this is also when Dutch is like, look, we have to fight back.
Yeah.
We don't really have any other choice at this point.
So this is when they start like, they're trying to get out, but I don't really remember how they have to like fight out.
Yeah. Well, they set up like a perimeter, right? And they also set up a net. And
okay.
They catch the Predator in the net,
but he like shoots himself out.
Yeah, he immediately escapes and shoots a branch that they had set up like a booby trap, I guess, and it swings and it hits Pancho.
Yeah, so
Pancho gets hurt but not killed, and that's when Mac chases him because he wants to get back at him for killing his buddy.
Revenge.
Yeah,
and he actually finds him.
Yeah,
finds the Predator. And he, what's the other guy's name? Dylan. He walks up, and then you see him get grabbed from behind, and you're like, oh, that's the Predator. But it's not. It's Mac. And he's like, I see him over there. And he's like, Dylan tells him, like, I'm going to go around and flush him back to you so that he comes this way and you can kill him.
Yeah.
And so he's on his way around. And
well, hold on. I want to talk about this scene. The interaction between two of them is really great because, like, Mac's cracking a little bit, right? He's starting to show cracks, and Carl Weathers just in over his head.
Yeah.
So he pulls him down in there, and he's like, look over there. And he's acting all weird, and he's like, look, I see you.
Yeah.
And then Carl Weathers, like, looks at him, and then, like, his eyes shift to look at his finger. Like, it's this weird look of Carl Weathers, like, acknowledging, like, yeah, this guy's starting to lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that's when he says he's going to go flush him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I was writing a note whenever this happened, but he's walking around the side of him to try to flush him towards Mac, and all of a sudden he's over top of Mac.
Yeah, the logistics of this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Because if he was watching him, like, you could see where he went.
Yeah, I think what it was the predator knew where they were the whole time and was just, doing cat and mouse with them.
Yeah.
So, because, like, he's crawling underneath something, and then all of a sudden you see the little red dots on his arm.
Yeah.
So, oh, shit, the predator knows where he's at. And then his head explodes.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're on his arm, and then he turns and, like, looks outside of where he's at, and then the red darts go in his head, and then they
Yeah, that's right.
kill him. And then the same thing happens, but not to his head, but to his body, but to Dylan. Like, he's laying on the ground, and then the little lasers happen, and he's dead.
Yeah, well, he sees them first, and he's holding two submachine guns.
Yeah.
So he starts to shoot back, and, like, he blows one of his arms off
And
first.
it continues to shoot. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun little gag. Yeah, but he kills Carl Weathers, too.
And so now there's only Dutch, Billy,
Poncho's
Poncho,
hurt,
and then the girl.
The girl, yeah. And they walk across, like, this tree that fell down. But then Billy turns around, and he's like, I'm going to
sacrifice myself so that
Yeah.
y'all can get out.
Yeah. Do you think that's what he was doing?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
totally. Because he was like, they were walking with him, and he hears a sound, and he's like, okay. And he turned, like, I could see him, like, process, like, it's my time. I need to save them. Because he was behind them, and he was watching them climb over this. He's like, I need to save my friends.
Oh,
So
okay. I never thought of that as sacrificial, but it makes more sense that way.
Yeah. So he turns around, he takes his shirt off, and he, like, cuts down his chest. That's why I also feel like he's like, I'm sacrifice.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when people are like, cut their hand and they dip it in the water and, like, deep blue.
Oh, yeah, like
Deep
the
blue
smell,
sea.
like attract them to the smell of blood or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's what I got. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I've always, watching that, I was always like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but to sacrificing himself so they can escape makes more sense.
So after this, they're kind of going through the woods, because they hear Billy scream because they've gone further into the woods on the other side of the little wood bridge, the tree bridge. And they hear Billy scream, and so they turn around and they're expecting to see the predator, but then you see Poncho with the 3 dots on his head, and he dies.
And then Anna,
and he shoots at his arm too. So, what's his name?
Oh. But the girl sees the predator, and she tries to pick up one of the machine guns and shoot him. But Arnold kicks it out of her hand for some reason.
He said, at one point, she drops her knife when they're running away, and she tries to pick it up. He goes, "No, he didn't go after you because you didn't have a weapon."
Oh.
So I guess he thinks, like, if you don't have a weapon, he's not going to go after you.
Right.
So you're going to be fine. You can get to the chopper. Because he's about to say that famous line. Get to the chopper.
Yeah. Go now. Yeah, and he shoots back at the predator with his M16, and then he starts to run away. Mm-hmm. And I think he's trying to get the predator to follow him rather than go to the chopper.
Yeah.
And then
because if that happens, no one's going to get out.
Yeah, no one's going to get out. But he doesn't know where he's running, but he eventually gets to an edge and like slides down.
Yeah,
off a
he
cliff.
falls into the water.
Yeah. And he swims. It's a really beautiful, I don't know what that location is, but it's really beautiful. And so he swims to the shore and he's like, okay, well, at least
And he like puts his face in the mud because he's like, oh, I'm away from it.
yeah, he's like, at least I've lost it for now.
Yeah.
But then he hears it hit the water.
Yeah. And you see, you're looking at him from the shore and you see the water behind him and you see this huge splash.
Yeah.
But you don't see anything go into it. So it was really cool
Yeah.
shot.
I wonder if they just took like a big rock and wrapped it up in green. So
Oh,
they could
maybe.
green screen it out later or something.
But so they drop it in the water, or he drops in the water, and then you see like it swimming, but nothing. Like you don't see him, but you just see the ripples of the water, kind of like a shark, but without a fin.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he has mud covering all over his front part of his body, and so
Yeah.
he hides and he tries to hide in like the the roots of a tree, and he kind of puts his arms up like he's like, I'm a root, I'm a tree.
Yeah. That improv game, I'm a tree.
And
I'm a predator searching for you. I'm a weird animal that scurries out of the tree.
it looks like a possum. But he,
I was trying to play I'm a tree with
I
myself.
get it. But he walks up on shore and he's like glitching out because the water, I guess, messed up his technology
Yeah.
for the predator. So he turns off his camouflage and he gets. This is I think the first time he gets to see what he actually looked like. The
full body.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like I really like the way this movie like slowly reveals the predator.
yeah
Yeah, and there is even like you think, oh, that's it, but they save one more reveal for the
At the
final
end,
part.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he is looking around for me. He doesn't see him because the mud is covering his body and it's cooling him off, so he doesn't register on his thermal. Which I don't know if that would actually work.
If the mud was cold enough.
So he can't see him, and then he does see this little something coming up on his infrared, and he shoots at it, and it's a possum.
Yeah, it's some sort of. I called it a swamp rat in my notes, for some reason. But I don't even know if a swamp rat's a real thing. But anyway, Arnold Schwarzenegger looks down and he realizes like the mud made him invisible to this guy. So then he waits for nightfall and he sets up all these booby traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I really liked that, like this whole like booby trap setting thing. But I also thought like this would take you a lot longer than like a
Yeah,
day
of
to
course
do.
it
But it was still fun to see him like setting up these like spikes and
Yeah, well, to me, this is really when the movie kind of gets boring to me.
yeah.
This movie has the third act is not as good as the middle of the movie.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, we've said it before, he's not a great actor, and he's like acting against a guy in a big costume.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think Bill Duke, who played Mac, would have been a lot more engaging in this part.
Yeah.
But anyway, he sets up all these booby traps. We don't need to go through each booby trap. And then when he's ready, he screams out so that the predator is like, oh, that's where he is.
Yeah.
And he also sets off some explosion. And the predator sees that.
He's also covered himself in mud even more.
Yeah, and he's like hiding in trees. And this part I really think is cool is...
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Because like you see him like covered in mud, but you see his eyes. It's interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's visually interesting.
Yes, visually
Sure.
interesting.
But this part I really like because the predator, he's like looking at the burning bomb or whatever it was, the explosion, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is just watching him and waiting for his time to like shoot the little explosive arrow at him.
Yeah.
So that part I really liked.
I also really liked that he was standing like up against a tree and he's looking out in front of him to see where the creature is, but then he hears him behind him, and you see it like walking like so close to him.
Oh yeah.
To get to the fire. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There's a lot of suspenseful, good moments in it.
Yeah, that's what this movie really does well.
But he swings past him at one point too, and then he starts throwing or shooting something at him.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that happens in this part. Like he throws spears at him, and then there's also cool. Like after he shoots him with a couple of explosive arrows, the predator turns around and starts shooting back, but he doesn't know where to shoot. But there's this really cool wide shot of him shooting things, and like they're hitting
the combustion.
Yeah, because it's like fireworks, sort of.
Yeah,
and it looks really good because they've got this. They're like in this real swampy area, and it's real. They put a bunch of fog in it.
Yeah, so
the fog illuminates with each burst of the fireworks or whatever they were. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah. Also, like he starts chasing him, kind of, but also he's escaping him because he's camouflaged from his ultraviolet or heat sensing.
Yeah, thermal vision.
But at one point he falls into water, and so now he's like, "Oh, I don't got no mud anymore."
Yeah.
And this is when the predator like finds him.
Yeah. And the predator is like, "All right, like you're the person who's like really been able to actually put up a fight against me.
Let's fight without my equipment."
Yeah, he reveals his face to him, and the animatronics and the makeup, the special effects of this thing are amazing. Mm-hmm. It looks real.
Yeah, it looks really cool too.
And it's a Stan Winston thing. So he's the same guy who designed the robot for the Terminator movies and stuff like that. This guy has done the giant alligator from Placid Lake. I think he designed that too.
Yeah, and so this is when he takes off his armor, also so that they can fight fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
And
he kicks Arnold's ass a little bit.
Yeah, and like even though he can barely see the infrared, he's still like going after him. So like he's still got good enough vision to like beat him up.
Yeah.
And then
so there's like one last trap that he tries to get him to go through. It's like there's sort of like a ravine.
Little spikes.
Yeah, and he goes under it, and there's a log with spikes stuck in it.
Mm-hmm. And you think he's going to go under it and he's going to save him, but then the predator sees or feels the spikes and is like, "Oh, I'm not going to go under this."
Yeah, and this is the part where Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "Do it, come kill me," and all that stuff, which is kind of hokey.
Yeah.
But then the predator goes around the spikes, and you're like, "Oh shit, Arnold's fucked now." But it turns out that's what he wanted him to do.
Yeah.
So he kicks this little thing that lets go of a giant tree trunk, and it falls on the head.
Him.
Yeah.
And then he walks up, like Arnold's like, "Oh, I'm done." But then you see like the tree moving behind him, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's not dead." And so he goes and looks and sees what's happened, and he's covered in his blood, like the radioactive spider blood.
Yeah, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger has a big rock, and he's about to go smash his head, but then he stops.
Yeah, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think he feels bad for him.
Maybe, I don't know.
Whatever. He just killed all of your friends.
I think it's really just
he is not for the death penalty.
I think it's just really so that when he can see the predator do the self-destruct thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Why? But the predator like pulls out his little wrist thing and he starts typing and like click, clack, click, 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 beep, bop, boop, boop.
His Palm Pilot.
Palm Pilot?
Remember those?
No.
The personal digital assistants?
No.
Oh, my God.
But
born in 1993. You're really showing it.
Sorry. But he like puts it's like Buzz Lightyear. But he's like beep, bop, boop, and nothing is pushed. He's just like touching. And and then it starts to beep and like these little lights start flickering. And then Arnold realizes, oh, like that's a bomb. I
Yeah.
need to get out of here.
And he also starts mimicking Billy's laugh.
Yeah,
too,
so
which-
that was I love when he starts mimicking his laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's like super loud and booming, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it's also...
And he understands what the laugh was too. Like he's not like he's super smart. Like I mean, you don't know
well,
how
it's-
smart a creature is, but
it's signaling to us, the viewer, that the predator is like going to take him down with him.
yeah,
Right? He's like, even in death, he's still a predator.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And then there's a huge explosion, and we see the helicopter that was at the rendezvous point, and the girl's in it, so she made it, thankfully.
Yeah. But now that they were looking for Dutch, in case he's still out there, and they see that big explosion, and they're like, what the hell was that? So they figure that must be him, and they go and land, and he walks out of the wreckage. And the movie ends super abruptly, and they just fly off into the sunset.
Yeah.
That's all you want to see. You know, I don't want to go like find out, who Dutch's wife is or whatever.
Oh,
or
hell no.
what he does when he's at home. It's like, just end the goddamn movie.
Yeah. So, yep.
All right, Aaron. That is Predator. So on a scale of 1 to 9 cat lives, I want to get your personal score. How many cat lives did this movie slay?
I am going to rate it 7.5 cat lives.
That's a good score.
7 to 7.5. I like you. I really like that first half of I think the whole movie overall is pretty good. I mean, it's iconic.
Yeah, truly
for a
iconic,
reason.
yeah.
I do feel like they could have gotten a better actor than Arnold, but I mean, he does a pretty good job in this compared to some of his other movies. Whew.
Yeah.
He did a lot better in this, but there were some parts where like there was a freeze frame and he had no facial expression. So I mean, acting could have been a little bit better, but they did a really good job of like with what they had. It was hard to understand some of the things that they were saying. So that wasn't great, but
Yeah, that's an audio thing. That's not.
yeah.
But whatever.
So yeah, that's why I gave it 7.5. I would watch it again. Joey, what is your rating 1 to 9 cat lives?
I'm going to give this one a solid 7.
Okay.
I think that's a good score. I think this movie, like you said, it is iconic. It has so many things that you remember about it. There's memorable lines, memorable characters. It spawned this science fiction love child in the Predator.
Yeah.
It's had more movies and comic books and all kinds of stuff. It's cool because it's so cool,
Yeah.
The movie has some missteps in it, like the convoluted plot in the beginning. The third act isn't the strongest part of the movie. I don't think Arnold should have been the lone survivor. I think it should have been Mac. But you can't deny how much fun this movie is to watch.
It is very fun to watch.
Yeah, so that's why I'm giving it a 7. It's sheer fun and entertainment, and there's no fucking denying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for the movie, but we got one last thing to do on the show.
One more thing. That's a song.
That's it. I thought you were going to keep going.
Nope. One more thing.
We're going to play a little game called Real Life Predator or Movie Predator.
Ooh.
So, Aaron,
how does that work?
I am going to give you a name of a famous actor, and you're going to tell me whether they've played a villain in a movie or played a predator in a movie, they're a real-life predator, or both.
Okay, so are you saying they've played a predator as like one of the alien characters?
No, just a predator in
Or like a
movie.
villainous kind of like,
Yeah,
so it
'cause
could be like, what is that movie?
Because stuntmen are playing the
Like
actual predator.
Christian Bale, he was a predator in Psycho.
American Psycho.
American Psycho.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd be like, Aaron, you know who Christian Bale is?
Yes.
He's been in a lot of movies. Is he a real life predator, a predator in a movie, or both? And you would tell me.
A predator in a movie.
Right. Yes. And then I would say Christian Bale has never been accused of sexual misconduct, but
Oh.
he did play a
Okay.
murderer in American Psycho. So,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
he is. Okay, ready?
Cool.
All right. So, do you know who Danny Masterson is?
Nope.
He is Hyde from That 70s Show.
Oh.
Okay. So, Aaron, is he a real-life predator or a predator in a movie?
Real life predator. I knew about that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But you're a little bit wrong here.
he's in both?
He's both. He's a movie predator.
What was he a predator in a movie?
In Face Off,
I've never seen that.
He has a small part in Face Off where he sexually assaults John Travolta's daughter after a date,
gosh.
and then she goes inside and he tells her like, "Hey, here's a knife. If he tries to do it again, stick it in his leg."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, he is serving prison.
Do it
time.
again. Girl, don't let her go out with him.
But Danny Masterson is serving prison time for rape. So good on the legal system.
Yay.
All right. Do you know who Anthony Hopkins is?
The name sounds so familiar.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of movies. He's a famous British actor.
If I had a picture of him, that would help.
I don't want to give away too much. Hold
Okay.
on.
I'm not looking.
I don't think there's any movie you would know him in except for the one that would give it away.
I just have to see what that. If I had an actor's face, I can tell you if I know them.
Oh my
Or
God.
not.
All right, I'll show you a picture, but it's totally going to give it away.
Okay. Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, he played a predator
Yeah. He played a predator, one of the most famous predators.
in a movie, but he's not a predator in life.
No, he is not a predator.
Yay! Good job, Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, as far as I know, has never been accused of doing any wrongdoings, much less sexual assault. But he also has played one of the most famous movie predators of all time, Hannibal Lecter,
Yeah.
right? And he loves playing that role. I heard that he wrote his own Hannibal Lecter
It's
movie.
fun to be a villain.
It is.
It is
totally
so
is.
fun to be a villain. So I get it. I get it, Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So next we're going to do John Travolta. You definitely know who John Travolta is. Mm-hmm. So Aaron has John Travolta. Is John Travolta a villain in a movie? A predator in a movie, or a predator in real life, or both?
I'm going to say, a predator in a movie. Both. Is he both?
Yeah, he's both.
No. Okay. I used to like John Travolta, but now it's going to ruin it. Okay, let's hear what he did.
Yeah, okay. So he has been a villain in a movie several times. In Face Off, a movie we just mentioned. Broken
Was he a
Arrow.
villain in that?
Yeah, well, he sort of, because they switch bodies.
Oh,
in the
okay.
beginning of the movie, he's the cop. But then for most of the movie, he's in the body of a...
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, it's like a Freaky Friday thing, right? And then in Broken Arrow, he plays a guy who wants to set off a nuclear bomb and kill a bunch of people.
Okay.
But he has also been accused of sexual assault by a cruise ship massage therapist. The man says Travolta offered him $12,000 to stay silent, too.
Wow.
Yeah, but the guy came forward. And John Travolta has denied the allegations.
Okay. I wonder what he asked him to do.
I don't know.
Blow him?
Probably something like that. Give him a happy ending, maybe.
Okay.
Massage therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're John Travolta, man. If you want to hook up with a dude, you can do it.
Yeah,
You don't-
totally. Easy peasy. You
don't
got to
have-
pay for
You
it.
don't have to assault somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, you know who Gary Oldman is?
Gary Oldman. The name sounds familiar.
Okay, this is what he looks like.
But he does not look familiar. I'm going to say he's just a predator
No.
in real life.
You say Gary Oldman is a real life predator?
I guess. I don't
Okay, well, to my knowledge, Gary Oldman has never been
Good on you,
accused of
Gary.
sexual misconduct. He's one of my favorite actors, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, that's good.
But he's played a villain in a lot of movies,
Oh, yeah?
including Air Force One, Leon the Professional, and The Fifth Element, just to name a few.
Okay.
He
I've
is,
never seen any of those.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to watch Leon the Professional this month.
Oh, okay.
Because I forgot to mention at the top of this episode, this is Action August.
And
we're gonna be
you
watching...
didn't do a little intro to it.
No, I didn't.
It's fine.
Man, I really messed up.
That's okay.
But it's Action August right now.
We could re-record the beginning.
Yeah, well, I guess we could. But we're not going to. I'll do an intro for next time. All right. So next, Woody Allen. You know who Woody Allen is?
Woody Allen sounds very familiar.
Not to be confused with what's his name? Woody from Cheers.
Can you click on his picture so I can see him bigger? He looks a little bit like what's his name? He's like a tiny Leslie
Nielsen?
Yeah. Or I don't know, Nielsen. I don't know. But his name is Leslie something. But he's a cute little old guy. He died.
Oh, I don't know.
He's so cute. He said, what y'all doing? Screwing? He had a real country
Oh,
accent.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks kind of like him.
Yeah, he does look like that guy.
I'm going to say...
That guy that you're talking about was in Jason Goes to Hell.
I'm going to say he is both.
No, he is a predator in real life. He's been in a lot of
it.
movies, but he's never played a predator. He usually plays like a neurotic guy in a movie.
Which could be predatorial.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But Woody Allen has been accused of sexual assault of a minor and is suspected to be a pedophile. And he was married to Diane Keaton, and they got divorced, and then he ended up marrying Diane Keaton's adopted daughter or something like that. Like, it was weird. Yeah, there's some weirdness around this guy. I've
Does
never
he
been
know
a fan of his movies.
Olstein? Not Olstein. What's his name? Epstein?
Epstein, yeah. No, I don't think he was on the Epstein flight list or anything.
Gross.
Yeah.
Is he dead yet, Woody Allen?
No, he's not dead. Damn it. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. All right, so we got one more. You know who Javier Bardem is?
Nope. Javier Bardem.
This guy. You don't know? He was in Mamma Mia.
He was in Mamma Mia?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Scoot closer. I want to see a big picture of him.
Big picture. That's a good picture.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm going to say both.
Both? No.
Damn it. Okay.
He played a very iconic predator in a movie in No Country for Old Men where he played a very accurate psychopath.
Okay.
Right? Which we'll probably watch that movie one day too because I really like it. But to my knowledge, has never been accused of sexual misconduct.
Good on you, Javier.
Yes, very good.
Okay. That's it.
Yep, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for tuning in.
Make sure you message us if you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions for movies at joeyanderinpod
At
gmail.com.
Right. Yes, and it is Action August, but I promise I'll have some sort of special intro next episode. I just forgot.
You really fucked it up.
We are rusty because we haven't done this in like a month, so get off our fucking backs.
For real.
Bitch-ass listeners, get a free
Hey, no,
podcast.
hey, no,
all
no,
you
no,
do-
no, no, no. Y'all aren't bitch asses. We love you. And we want you to continue to tune in.
Yes.
Anyways.
We love you. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Don't forget to slay and neuter your cats. He's
Bye.
forgetting everything.
I know.
Bye.